Shawnee, welcome back. I want to play with makeup today, mainly with eyeshadow. So I'm going to use several of my Glaminatrix Cosmetics palettes in the interest of making sure to continue to support small businesses, especially those that are being affected by all the mess that is going on in general. And, you know, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Now I have a couple of their palettes, and whenever I use a shade, I'll let you know what the shade is as well as from which palette it comes. And first I will do some primer. I was thinking to use the Prelusion primer from Davina. It's just like a regular base primer for eyeshadow. But it is like white, I think, if I remember correctly. And I think I might want a primer that is more my skin tone. Yeah. So I'm going to use one of my colored rain ones. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit on this little palette here. And then use a brush to put that on my eyelids. Let's clean this brush. So as per usual, stuff is crazy, okay? Just real foolish. Just the world. The world in general is just a hot mess. I finally saw like some of the police presence near my office in DC, and I'm just like, just what's happening? But anyway, so I'm putting that on my eyelid. I'm gonna use this primarily for my mattes that I'll use. I have no real clue as to what I'm going to do, but we're gonna do something, okay? We're gonna do something. Now, let me tell you about some of the stories I've been reading, because was it yesterday? I just fell down this rabbit hole of reading and watching news. I mean, first of all, there is so much trash happening in the world, in the US, like just everywhere. And instead of talking about that, because that's just a recipe for disaster for our mental health, I think I'll just talk about some of the other, I guess, like lighter stories, you know, just a little less tragic. So I was reading this story about this man who is suing CVS Pharmacy. Now here's the thing, like, I used to have a problem with CVS, but only because of the CVS store I was going to. Whenever I would go to that store, when I tell you, it would take forever to get my medication. Like at some points I was like, do you just want me to go back there and just like put it together in the bottle? Because I'm like, why is this taking so long? So at some point I switched to Walgreens, I think. Like, it's just the whole system. You know, I could go on and on about the managed care or whatever the hell. How about lack of management care? That's really what it is. But anyway, so I wanted to know, like, why is he suing CVS? So I read the story, child, and when I tell you, this man has cojones. So he went to get a prescription, and he paid for the prescription, but what happened was that the system was down, and so they were unable to like process the payment, right? So you know how whenever you go somewhere, you have like a phone number that you have to put down to call in case of emergencies or whatever, like the contact information. So the pharmacy proceeds to use the contact information to contact the person. It ends up being his wife's phone number that he put down as the contact, or I don't know if she did, whatever. It's like a shared account. And so they're like, hey, bud, whomever picked up the prescription, like the payment didn't go through because of us, like our system was down or whatever. So we need you to pay the $2 that it was, which is amazing, okay? And so the wife is like, oh, what medication is it? You already know some ain't right? And they're like, oh, it's birth control. Here's the kicker. The wife ain't on birth control. Nope. But you know who is? His mistress. This man, you're going to use my health insurance to go to my pharmacy to purchase birth control for your mistress? I beg. Like, objection, Your Honor. Like, honestly? I don't know. Like, inside, I'm like, which one is worse? It's terrible that you have a mistress, but then also I'm like, how dare you use my insurance? Like, with all the fighting I have gone through with insurance, I'm like, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you do that? Where they do that at, sir? Where they do that at? So he is upset, okay? He is like, what did he say? Let me tell you what he said, because he has the gall. It's giving very much like cis hetero man. Like, cause you have too much gumption. Okay, so he said, now my wife knows everything and 2 families are on the brink of disintegration. I want to know, does your pharmacy bear any responsibility? He angrily wrote. This fool had the nerve to do a police report. When I tell you the lack of taking of responsibility is mind-blowing. I don't know that I've ever seen anything like this. What he said was, how dare you? How dare you uncover my shenanigans? Like, now my wife know, and y'all ruining stuff, right? Listen, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm really upset about the fact that he used the insurance. That's how you can tell I'm just so over insurance, because I'm like, how dare he? But dude, you was cheating on your wife, and I mean, why she ain't get the birth control, the mistress? Well, she didn't want it on her account, so her husband couldn't see? Y'all both are shady, okay? Shady. I have never heard such a thing. And he is like, he's got some righteous indignation going on, except for it's not righteous. It's unrighteous. It's negative righteous. Like, how just dare you? Alright, man. Dude, I'm gonna go into this shade here called Luxe, and it is from the Glamorous palette. I'm just so stuck on the fact that he has, you have the nerve to put this in writing, okay? You have the nerve to put this in writing, talking about, are you gonna hold yourself accountable, responsible? How about you do it first? Like, what? I'm telling you, people sue for any and everything. But the fact that he is not taking any responsibility, sir, the reason that the families are on the brink of disintegration is that you and homegirl were cheating together with your partners. Like, wow. The other thing that gets me is like, that's some cheap ass birth control. $2? Wow. Why you pay? You should have paid with cash. Like, I'm just not quite understanding, like, but you know what? Out here, I feel like sometimes when I go pick up medication, they're like, okay, and what medication is it? Like, to, I guess, confirm which one I'm picking up. Like, I don't know, it said right there on the account. Just give me whatever is ready. But it's curious that they didn't have that practice or something. But CVS Pharmacy is like, we did not, like, infringe on your patient rights. Like, you know the process. You probably didn't read the stuff that you're supposed to read that don't nobody read, that says that we can contact you, and you put the number down. It ain't our fault. You put your wife's number, or your wife is the one. The wife is the one who probably set up the account. Like, how... I'm gonna go into Regal in the same palette, the Glamorous palette. People will sue. Like, they'll sue you for their own shoes that they have on their feet. Like, somehow they'll find a way that you're responsible for, like, the laces come undone. Because there's another story of another man who's suing for something that is his doing. It's his doing. Is this one in Florida? It might be, because when is it not in Florida? When is it not? This one reminds me of that story years ago. Is it like decades now? Or my mom would say donkey years. Where that man went into somebody's house to rob it, and he like stepped on a roller skate or something and broke something, and he sued and he won. That's how you know the entire system is jacked the hell up. Because how? How? You came into my house. But this other story is about a man who is suing a grocery store. Let me tell you why. He's suing, he says it's an egregious assault. His name is Michael Prince. So he went to a food mart. He's asking for an unspecified amount. And he's suing the supervisor and or owner / operator, 8 unnamed employees, and let me tell you why. So Michael Prince, is it Prince or Price? It says Prince. He ain't no Prince. Michael Prince said that while attending Dino's Food Mart on February 24th, 2024, he stole a jacket. He's just coming out and tell you this is what I did. He stole a jacket which contained a wallet and a key, a car key. So he went home to drop some of the stuff off, and then he went back about 30 minutes later, and he was trying to get into the car, to steal the car and take it away. He describes himself as an unemployed laborer. That's a fancy way of saying you ain't got a job. Unemployed laborer? Like, this is such legal speak. Anyway, he said that once he entered the car, it was like boxed in by other cars. It triggered the alarm. So people come out of the store. He was pulled out of the vehicle, and he said the employees punched, kicked, and hit him repeatedly. He suffered blows to the head, apparently from a hammer, and that caused him to bleed. He says he has no memory of the incident. He just remembers he found himself running down the block away from the scene. But what Michael didn't know is he said he got home and a couple of the people had followed him to his house, but he said they didn't do anything to him once he got there. So he went to the hospital, and then once he was released from the hospital, he went to the jail. And he spent about a month in prison. Now, he says it was an excessive and egregious assault that left him with multiple injuries and ongoing impairments, including a concussion, vertigo, nerve damage, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Things are traumatic, okay? Yes. Here's the thing, though, that gets me. You was trying to steal something. So, ain't this like fruit of the poison tree or whatever? You were literally trying to steal something, and you got caught. And, I mean, maybe they were excessive. Maybe they were excessive. But it's, I'm going to go into curls, which is continuing from the Glamorous palette. I'm going to put that at the very outer corner. Like, how? That's something you can sue for everything. Remember the lady who sued because she slipped on a piece of prosciutto at Wegmans or something? And then, like, the people who have sued in the past for just, like, things. Remember the one where people were like, this Subway store footlong is not a footlong. You know what I mean? And then the guy who sued, I think it was Buffalo Wild Wings, because one of the boneless wings apparently had a bone in it. And then the court was like, well, boneless wings is just like a name of the food. It doesn't mean that there can't be any bones in the boneless wings. The amounts. This is a simulation. This has got to be a simulation, because I just refuse to believe that society is this idiotic. But it just... I just love how he's just like, listen, I stole this, right? I stole this jacket, had a key fob in it. I went home, I came back. I was trying to steal the car, but these people came out of the store and beat me up. How dare they? Talk about gall. Privilege, gall, everything. Like you, okay. Like, okay. Speaking of privilege, Hailey Bieber. I don't know how she has become this, like, face of innovative makeup stuff. I don't pay attention to the woman. I couldn't point her out in the lineup. If you sat her down in front of me with like two other people and you were like, which one is Hailey Bieber? I'd be like, I don't know, the one on the left. Like, I have no idea, okay? What other color do I want to use? I think I want to go into Fog, and this is from the Nocturnal palette. Let's just see something. So Hailey Bieber, remember a while ago she came out with like the clean girl aesthetic, or the donut lips or something, which is really just culturally appropriating the many like makeup styles of black women, when like back in the day we would do gloss with brown lip liner. Like, that's not donut lips, that's just what black people do. Remember that? So now apparently there's something else. Something else that was, you know, created by Hailey Bieber. Just like the Kardashians created box braids. Basically, it's called the Purse Girl. Let me tell you. I'm sorry, purse face. Purse face is the new trend taking over. Now, so when I saw that, I was like, you mean this? When you like purse your lips? But I read further because I like to punish myself. And basically, it's doing your makeup with whatever you have in your purse. I don't know why everybody feels like we need a name for something. Why do you need a name for that? You just did your makeup-ish with the stuff that's in your purse. There's no name for it. You're just doing your makeup with the stuff that's in your purse. Like, the stuff that you threw in there probably need to throw out, but that's what you have. Like, and so people are like, oh my gosh, she looks so gorgeous. Like, yes, queen. Apparently just do the absolute bare minimum and everybody is going to love you, except for, you know, if you're part of a marginalized group. Like, I'm just How is it a trend? Listen, what's in my purse is like some hand sanitizer, some poopery, probably some caffeine pills or something, and some almonds. That's it. Definitely some chapstick. That's it. How am I supposed to do my makeup with that? It's just so incredibly idiotic, in my opinion. Like, that they're, like, this is now a trend. How is this trendy? How is this a trend? I don't understand, and I don't want to understand. But also, why do people keep giving this woman kudos for all this stuff that they're not really things? Or if they're things, they have already been, like, invented by another group, and you're just, like, taking it and calling it something that's not yours. You know what I mean? Like, purse face. When I tell you, I really thought it was this. When you purse your lips, I'm like, oh, what kind of trend is this? I'm not doing no damn purse face. I didn't do the clean girl aesthetic, because just wear a little bit of makeup and that's clean girl. Okay. And I sure enough am not gonna do no damn purse face. What am I supposed to call mine? Like, drawer face, because I have stuff in my drawer at work. I'm gonna just call it drawer face. I'm gonna go in with this shade here, Constellation. Am I? I might not. I'm just so through. That really just irritated me, because just, why does everything have to be a thing? Everything has to be a thing. Let me see. This is Twinkle. That is from the Into the Night palette. And this is Constellation. And that is from Nocturnal. Okay. I think I'll use the one from Nocturnal. So basically, I'm just using the mattes as like base for the shimmers. And also basically, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what journey we're taking with this. Does anyone else get really irritated at the word journey? Like how everything has turned into a journey. You know what I mean? Like my yoga journey, my meditation journey, my like fitness journey. Where we all going? How do you know when the journey ends? I don't know. And we all just been journeying and we all know? What's the end point? Is there a map? Like, I say it too. I'm sure I do. It still irritates me. Like, I can participate in things that irritate me, okay? Because I irritate myself sometimes. But what journey, where are we going? How we gonna know we get there? Do we turn back around? Do you come back? Once you get to your destination, do you come back? I have questions, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go into Opulence, which is from the Glamorous palette. Like, where are we going? Is it a solo journey? Like, are you journeying alone? Like, I just love, like, I feel like with this generation, there's so much more, like, psychobabble, like psychology speak. Sometimes people come into my office and I'm like, I have no idea what you're saying. I have no idea. These words that you're putting together don't mean what you think they mean. And What disorder is that? I ain't never heard of it. Like, some of them just like where am I? What did I miss? What did I miss? I missed something. What do I have there? Purple. I'm just so confused. Okay, I think I've managed to use these 3 palettes, right? I think so. So maybe I'll go into this shade here, which is Dreamy from the Glamorous palette. Did you hear about that story of Shaquille O'Neal buying a car for a young woman who, she is a wrestler and she had to take the summer off because she had to save up money to try to get a car because of the distance, for practice and meets and stuff. Like, she couldn't always get there because she couldn't afford to. So Shaq contacted her and her parents and gave her a car. And first I was like, that is so cool, I would totally accept. But then it made me think of all of the various scams that are going on. The latest of which is one that all of them frustrate me. But this one, I'm just like, this person took advantage of someone who, according to the article, has bipolar disorder and was maybe in a manic phase or stage. I don't know how he contacted her, but he did. And I'm gonna go into Sweetly. And he was just talking to her. And then, of course, he said that he needs money, which is always the thing, right? Here's what got me, though, is that he said that he was currently in space and he was running out of oxygen. And for some reason, her sending him $70,000 will, like, save him. Initially, I was like, ain't no way in all of God's green earth that you would fall for that. But the more and more I read, the more and more I'm like, you know what? Would I? Would I want more? Let me see. And she's a Japanese woman who's in her 80s. Like, did I just get, what is that? I don't know. Japanese lady in her 80s. It makes me so upset. He said he's in space on a spaceship right now, and he was under attack and in need of oxygen. The scammer urged her to pay him online to help him buy oxygen. This is ridiculous. Child. So I think what happened was her daughter stepped in at, like, what is it, the 12th hour, the 9th hour? Close to the you know, she was about to send him a whole bunch of money. She had already sent him like $6,000 or something. And the granddaughter or her daughter was like, no, ma'am, this is not good. And the daughter was like, she was in the midst of a manic episode. I'm just like, how trash assy can you be? But, like, reading that led to me recalling and reading articles about the other scams that have been around, but the one where people would call and say that they were the person's child or they had gotten in trouble, and you have to give them like $10,000 in 30 minutes or else they gonna like off the person. God, Rose, where the hell she be coming from? Nearly gave me like a chest pain heart attack. And now I'm going to go into Luxe. Is that the shade I used? I don't know. Anyway, it reminded me of those stories where they would do that and then the person is like rushing, trying to get money and stuff. But here's the thing with me and my family. I feel like we don't have money like that. So girl, if you gonna get caught, child, we gonna have to take up a collection at the church or something. Actually, I'm not gonna go into that color. I'm going to go into Nightfall from the Nocturnal palette. I'm afraid of that. Like, my family would be like, girl, you got a layaway plan? But I'm just hoping that people are, but you know what? What happened with my mom was somebody called and was like, or message, I don't know, and they were like, this is Verizon and something's wrong with your phone. I don't know what happened. We need your account number. And then they just like shut the phone down. And this is when I think my parents and my sister were like in Las Vegas on like a weekend or something. When I tell you, I was ready to fly my ass over to wherever that person was and just like knock them down. Because how dare you? Do not do this, okay? Do not try to, we ain't got money. Like, I don't like when people do that. I think it's like evil. Like, what was it? Not too long ago, right before I was going on my cruise, somebody stole my account information like twice. And I think it was from Walmart.com because I saw, not even think, it was, they had tried to spend hundreds of dollars at Walmart.com in like Arizona. I'm gonna go in with this shade, Nightfall. When I tell you I was so pissed because like I was going on vacation and I'm like, I need access to my account and all my stuff. And you over here trying to take my stuff and now they have to send me a new card and like, and I was out of the, like I was on a cruise ship. I was so effing pissed. I was so pissed. Because it was also like, I have to make sure that I have another source of income while I'm on this boat. Y'all, I don't know what I did here, but this is what I did, and this is what we're going to go with. Okay? I just don't like people stealing like that. But I have another story about someone who got caught stealing, and this is a story that made my entire night last night. And if it does not make yours, then I don't think you have a sense of humor that matches with mine. So let me just I'm just gonna tell you the story. Before we even go into that amazing story, let me tell you a different one first, because it's all about taking stuff from people. So, did you see on the news, there was a soccer match going on in Poland. I think it was in Poland, but it has to do with a Polish CEO. I'm going to go in with this all-nighter primer from Urban Decay. It's their all-nighter glow. So, at the end of the game or somewhere, you know, when the players often will go into the stands or whatever, the bleachers, whatever they call, the seats, the chairs, where the people at, and like sign stuff or whatever. So this player goes into where the fans are and he's just signing stuff. And what he does, he takes his hat off. I think he signs it or he just takes it off and he's handing it to this little boy. Little boy is like maybe 8 to 11. I mean, he looks small, but you don't ever know these days. When I tell you this Polish CEO, grown ass man, reaches over and snatches the hat out of the player's hand. When you see the little kid going to get the hat, and home dude, grown-ass man, comes and just snatches it and act like ain't nothing happened. He turns around and gives it to his wife or something so she can put it in the bag. All of this was caught on camera, and people came after him because the little boy is like, and the player is already moving on, right? And it's probably loud. He can't hear what's going on. This man snatched that hat so fast, and he got so much backlash, as he should. How you gonna do that to a little kid? So I'm going to use my Haus Labs foundation. Let's see how that is. This is almost done. Okay. We're gonna get every last drop. I'm going in with the Rose and Ben foundation brush. Make it work. So yeah, Home Dude, the Polish CEO, snatched the hat from the young boy and went about his entire business. And then he started getting backlash from people because they're like, why did you do that? Like, why did you do that? That's so rude and janky. Like, people do it all the time, but this a little kid. Come on. Like, and you a CEO. What you doing in the regular boxes anyway? Aren't you supposed to have, like, a sky box or whatever? Like, so basically he was, like, apologizing. He did, like, 2 apologies, and he's like, I would really like to meet with that young man and his family. I would be like, sir, leave me. Just don't say nothing to me, okay? And he was like, he was going to sell the hat and give it to charity, like the money to charity. You wasn't going to do nothing until people called you out. But apparently the player or whatever did, like, hook up with the little boy and I guess give him a whole bunch of signed things. But that brings me to the final story that I just have to share with you. The one that takes the cake. The one that I was like, this is not happening. The great part about this is there was an article, but an accompanying video. That's always the best, okay? Because that's always the best because then you get to really have that visual. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. There's the story, right, about somebody getting arrested at their job. And then there's the video. You know, like a what is it, body cam kind of thing. And the thing is that this person works at Chuck E. Cheese's. Have y'all been? I think it's just an American thing, but do you know what Chuck E. Cheese's is? Chuck E. Cheese is like you go to this place, it's like an arcade, there's pizza, and then they have those like animatronic things that are on stage and they're like, you know what I mean? My family took me to Chuck E. Cheese's when I was like 2. Scarred me for life. I kid you not. I don't like those things. I don't like those like Mickey Mouse, Goofy, like all dressed up in the costume. I don't think, no, I don't want to anthropomorphize these things that are supposed to be animals. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. It's creepy. And it's because I tell my family all the time, y'all took me too early. Just in case you were wondering, I'm scarred. I can't do it. Those things freak me out. And I remember in school, in college, I don't know if my sorority sisters knew this and did this purposefully, but we went to Chuck E. Cheese's and I was uncomfortable. Okay? Like, please respect my fear. I can be around this. I would prefer not to. But here's the thing. So this man, what's his name? Tyrone? Let me find his name because I just have to give you the person, place, and thing. And I guess pet as well. Florida. Because why is it not? It's always Florida. Jermel Jones, 41 years old. And so there's a clip of a couple of officers going into the Chuck E. Cheese and they're like, we're gonna detain the mouse. Because he's, like, Chuck E. Cheese is the main one. Chuck E. Cheese is the mouse, right? They show themselves going up to Chuck E. Cheese, to the mouse. They show them go, and they're like, put your hands behind your back, sir. Listen, you can't just read this story. You have to watch the video, because that is the only way that you will completely understand the utter ridiculousness. The utter ridiculousness of this entire thing. I'm sorry, but here come the police all serious. You know these are just some rookies. They're like, hey, y'all, go ahead and just go to that man's job and arrest him. He was being arrested on, like, for stealing somebody's card and using it. And they're like, don't resist, don't resist. I feel like every sort of like body cam thing that I watch, they're like, don't resist. Does everybody resist? Like, are you sure that it's not just like people trying to put their hand behind their back and it's not like a typical thing that you do, and so you get a little tense? I don't know, spitballing. And when I tell you, so the costume is a big old mouse head, right? The body is the regular person. Y'all don't think this is creepy? Okay, with some big old shoes and gloves, like mouse gloves. I don't know if you've ever seen police trying to put handcuffs on like mouse gloves, but it's ridiculous. So they cart him out of the Chuck E. Cheese restaurant, and the kids, a bunch of the kids are freaking out. And you hear one little child, and this isn't funny, but it is. All you hear is, Chucky, no! That child's probably traumatized, and I get it. I understand. My experience was a little bit different. But all you hear is, Chucky, no! Like, this broke this little boy's heart. And there's a lady, Jesus Christ, there's a lady, one of the moms that's there, and she's like, why did you have to do that like that? And the police are like, ma'am, please step aside. We have to do our job. And she was like, but you couldn't wait until he left, until he went outside, because you're like traumatizing children. And the guy's just like, would you prefer that we didn't do our job? The highlight of the entire thing is when she said, would you put Mickey Mouse in cuffs? When I tell you, I fell out. Because it was too much. It was too much for me. It went beyond what my brain could comprehend in terms of comedy. She just said, would you put Mickey Mouse in handcuffs? Never in my life did I think I would ever be in a situation where I would hear that sentence. Like, the police didn't even say nothing. Because honestly, what do you say to that? Yeah. Like, I think they could have waited. I think they could have waited until he got off of work, or they could have just been like, sir, can you follow us to the back? You know what I mean? The fact that... I don't know. I'm just seeing it in my head. I'm reliving the entire experience. The fact that you see Chuck E. Cheese being led outside in handcuffs, it's an image you didn't know you needed. It's like, it's hard to comprehend. You know what I'm saying? It's like, first of all, this is like an animatronic thing. Second, it's not a mouse. You know that there's a human person in there, but it's weird. It messes with your mind. At least it messes with mine. And maybe that's like my trauma response, but it's so weird to like put that. If I had a child, I don't know what I would tell him. I'd be like, yeah, babes, like Chucky just got arrested. But like he has like cousins and stuff that can step in. I just like, they could have waited until this man got off of work. You know what I'm saying? So they cart him outside. And of course he's like, what's going on? He's like, this is my job, man. And they're like, yes, we understand, sir. Yeah. And one guy is like, how do you take this off? Trying to take the dude's head off. See what I mean? Trying to take the costume head off, which he does. Pulls the costume head right off the man. Listen, if you were a child seeing that, would you not be scarred? Would you not be like, oh my God, somebody just took Chucky's head off. Chuck E. Cheese's head. Took it right on off. Right on off. And then he mistakenly called the dude like Mickey Mouse or something, or some other mouse. I'm like, you can't get it right. That's Chuck E. Cheese. Everybody know that's Chuck E. Cheese, okay? He not Mickey, he not Minnie, he not Mighty. He's Chuck E. Cheese, the mouse. But it reminded me of when I was younger and one of my favorite uncles had, one of the two of my favorites, had a prosthetic leg. And child, he took that thing off and I started screaming. Because in my little brain, I was like, he just took his leg off. Do y'all see that? How you do that? How you do it? Since when can you do it? So I'm just imagining trying to explain to some little child about Chucky's head being removed and put on top of the roof of the car. I'm sorry, they should have waited. And they still got this man with his hands behind his back with these gloves, these big old mouse gloves on. They could, in my opinion, you let me know, in my opinion, they could have waited. Y'all can't wait until the end of his shift. What possessed that woman to say, would you put Mickey Mouse in handcuffs? What you trying to say? Like, are you trying to say that Chuck E. Cheese's is like the budget version, and so like, you know, whatever, maybe he could go in cuffs, but how dare you, don't even try to do it to Mickey. You know what I mean? Is Mickey the like the rich? Like, I don't know, because she seemed to be saying like, how dare you, would you even try to do this to Mickey Mouse? Like, don't play. And that poor that poor man, you get carted out of your job. I've seen videos of people being arrested at like Subway and the police being like, almost like stepping in to handle the orders and stuff. So couldn't nobody just step in and be Chuck E. Cheese for the rest of the evening? And he was standing with a family too, and then they really couldn't do anything else. Like, come on, you guys. I understand he needs to be arrested. But, well, it was for, like, theft. Like, he used somebody's card or whatever. So part of it is, like, if it were me, I'm like, arrest him right now. But also, I might have just been like, you know, it's cool. Just wait. It's a whole bunch of babies over there. Just like, wait. If it was, like, a non-lethal kind of crime. You know what I mean? Like, they said, baby, we gonna arrest him right here, right now. Go ahead and take that head off. Those police, like, they couldn't have taken themselves seriously. You're literally, and she's right. Would you do this to Mickey Mouse? So here's the finished look. I haven't done anything with like super bright colors in a while. And I really enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any Glaminatrix Cosmetics palettes and which one you like the most. I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you're continuing to take care of yourself. I will love it if you like the video, and I will love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for the 19.2 people who watch my video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.